Welcome to Coach Cook's podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the opportunity to join in to this podcast. You could have joined any podcast around the world, but you decided to join this one, and I'm so appreciative. Without further ado, I want to talk about a critical question that's always asked of me as it pertains to dating. And that question is, Cook, where do I meet people? Where do I meet somebody? And I pondered on that, and I will get to that in my next teaching. But for this particular teaching, I want us to focus on the three essential places that you ought not meet somebody. Three places where you shouldn't meet anybody. It's off limits that you shouldn't meet someone is church, because church is the place where your soul is to be edified, and you don't want anybody to come in between you and your worship experience with God and you and your spiritual edification with God. Meeting somebody in church could cause an emotional roller coaster. It could cause an emotional roller coaster simply because if you meet them and things don't work out, you still have to frequent that place. You still have to go there. And church is a place where there's gossiping, there's rumors, there's a lot of things that happen in church that could be detrimental to the edification of your spirit man. And you need all of your resources, especially the fellowship in church, to feed your spiritual man. Because if things don't work out, hypothetically, if you meet somebody and that person came to church because they have low self-esteem or they're not feeling their best, and you're a popular person in church, or you're feeling good about yourself, you have your things together, everybody knows you, that person will use you as a trophy, or they will use you. You don't want anybody to use you. Understand this, that we have to understand the elements of church. Church is a hospital. What does that mean? That means everybody that comes to church has issues. Everybody that they need help with. All of us, everybody in the entire world has a handicap. All of us have some level of issue within our life. It's just that some people are visible. But because church is a hospital, that means that the person with whom you're going to give your number to or your meeting, they have an issue too. And you don't want to put yourself in a compromising position in a free-for-all worship experience where it could be a fallout of your name. It could be a detriment to your character, and it could be a detriment to how your worship experience is experienced and the edification of your soul. I never forget, I had a buddy. He met somebody in church, gave her the number, and he began to talk to her for some time. He didn't want to have premarital sex, so he did everything in his power to abstain from that. She, in turn, wanted to, and so she kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. He kept resisting. Things didn't work out the way that they expected it to, so they ended up breaking off the engagement. She then goes to the church and makes the announcement to the church that he is gay. It affected his worship. His name was dragged through the mud, all because he wanted to do the right thing. I'm saying to you, all the ebullience in my spirit, do not meet anybody in church. Sure, you have that 1% or 10% that it may work out, but you have to go through a strong vetting process, which means that it has to be a platonic friendship for months before you take it to that next level. So don't meet anybody in church. The second place that you shouldn't meet anybody is in the gym. Cook, why? First of all, that's the place where you build up your health. You're building up your body. One is the church where you build up your spiritual man. Two, the gym is where you build up your physical man. And if things don't work out, there's a level of awkwardness that happens in the gym. Even if you get the number and you talk to the person, and after the first conversation, it doesn't go well, you're reluctant to go back to that gym because you're scared to run into that person. You'll try to go to the weights, but if they're over at the weights, you'll avoid going over there to the weights. So you never want to put yourself in a compromising position where you're like, well, Cook, I just go to another gym. Why would you? Because you take the chance of going to another gym and that gym cost is higher. Then you go to that gym, there's more gas. You don't know how long the wait will be. The crowd you don't know the crowd, and then you would have to start all over. All of that could have been prevented had you never given your number to anybody in the gym. You don't want anybody to come in between the building up of your physical man. So first we have church. Second, we have gym. Third, you don't want to meet anybody. You don't want to meet anybody at work. Why don't I want to meet anybody at work? Because that's where you build your finance. And that could damage you if it doesn't work out. I've seen people that lost their job. They went to human resources. The person came to work and said so and so harassed me. Then they got let go, and that harassment followed them throughout their career. You don't want anything to interfere with your financial well-being. First is the gym. First is church. Second is the gym. Third is work, because you don't want anything that could lead you to a place of uncomfortability. Most importantly, you don't want anything that could be detrimental to your lifestyle. So my friends, hopefully this helped you. I'll do a part 2 to this. If you like this video, do me a favor, comment, like it, and subscribe. I certainly appreciate your time. Do me a favor, know that God cares about you, know that God loves you, and I'll do a part 2. Take care.